All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are 4 lessons learned going from 0 to 40K a month in 120 days within 9 months of graduating high school, a super simple, low-cost freelance team, and 70 to 80% margins over a month. And I'm not saying this to brag, I'm saying this to show you that you can do it too if you apply the 4 learnings that I'm going to share with you now. All right, so sounds good. Let's jump right in. Permissionless proof is the first part because one of the most impactful equations that impact all of your sales in an agency environment is value delivery times the trust in your ability. What does that mean? So of course, value delivery is how much value you're actually generating for your client. One example is if you are building websites for your customers just because they look beautiful, that's a good thing to have, but necessarily not as important to them as, for example, let's say generating customers or generating new applications, new talents, right? So the bigger the value that you deliver, the more people are inclined to work with you. The other part of that equation is the trust in your ability. So how much do people actually trust you that you can deliver the value that you're claiming you can deliver? The question is, how do we get more of each so we can make more sales? And for the value delivery, of course, we just want to improve our service. That means having a specific service that delivers specific business results, as well as being very good at delivering these business results. And the second part, trust in your ability, is done by having more proof. So the more proof you have, the more people will actually trust you that you can deliver what you're claiming you can deliver. And we're focusing now on the more proof part, and we're getting to the better service in a second. So tactics to improve trust. First things first, what you want to do is you want to ask your clients for testimonials after every win, because clients are most willing to give them to you when they're grateful. And that could be when the first campaign is launched, when the first leads are coming in, when the first results are there. Or of course, and they will be strongest if that's the case, when you ended the engagement super successfully, right? So for example, you will have a graph, a revenue graph that's going up and to the right, and you can claim a lot of accountability for that. That's when testimonials will be strongest. And of course, you want to ask for testimonials when your customer is grateful for the work that you did. Second, build out case studies during each engagement to educate your ideal clients on what working with you actually looks like. And that's something you can do without the permission of your clients. Of course, naming them would need their permission, but in general, you can just document the process of you solving the problem, delivering your service, and then the solution / the results that you're generating for them. If you document that, then you can reuse that in your own marketing, reuse that in your own content, and make sure that people trust you more. And last but not least, you can create content around your process, as increased understanding leads to increased trust. And that does not necessarily mean just build out only case studies, but what you can do is also give a little bit more of a behind the scenes of how you're actually delivering your service and how you actually make customer engagements, client engagements work within your agency. All right, question is, what if I don't have any clients, right? So you can't collect testimonials, you can't collect case studies, you can't create content around the process that you're using to generate client results. Then there is permissionless proof coming in. And the concept of permissionless proof is that you just do work for free without anybody having to say yes to you doing that work. One example from my times back in agency times is I just went ahead and recorded Loom videos of other companies' ad libraries and said, hey, this is what I'm going to change, or this is what I would change. This is how you can improve. And I just try to make sure that the public knows that I know what I'm talking about. And as a nice side effect, I also collected some leads from the specific company I wanted to work for, in this case, remote. All right, so that's that. Permissionless proof. Make sure you collect proof even if you don't have any clients. Next up is eloquence is bigger than talent, because the hardest part in building an agency is going from 0 to 10K, especially if you have no proof and little skills. So it's still possible though, if you communicate well, which is why how you talk about yourself and who you talk to is more important than how good you are on paper, meaning eloquence is bigger than talent. And if your eloquence is bigger than talent, you will be able to win your first clients, even if you don't have any proof, even if you are not as talented as the next agency. And so this is really a great tactic to win your first clients. And so there are 3 actionable steps that you can take from this, which is first things first, you can tell everyone, including your mom, because people will talk about you. Your goal in the beginning is to spread the word. And you can do that by being very specific about how you communicate your skills, how you communicate your character, and why it's cool to work with you in a sense. Second of all, you can define an inspiring story and ask for referrals, because if you inspire people, they'll spread the word. And there is a story from our agency times back in the day where Mikey, the founder of Perspective, he basically just booked lunch meetings all week long and built this beautiful presentation that wasn't necessarily a pitch, because you don't want people to feel like they're being pitched to all the time, but it was just showcasing the vision we had for the company. And at the end of every presentation, he basically asked, hey, Do you know anybody that could be interesting to? And after he repeated that for a while, we basically had referrals coming in every week, which was an exceptional channel for us. And last but not least, create content around your process once again and collect permissionless proof, right? You just need the world to know that you're good at what you do, and you can best do that, especially for free, when creating content. All right, moving on. Client success is bigger than cash, because once you have your first clients, all that matters is their success. Because if you focus on client success, there will be three things happening. First things first, you will have improved retention. Of course, if you deliver the value that you're claiming you can deliver, people will stick around longer because they want more of that value, right? They want more clients, they want more talent, they want more whatever. So that's the first part. Second, you will get more referrals, because if somebody approaches your client having the exact same problem that you're solving for them, they are way more inclined to actually refer that customer to you. And last but not least, your service will improve, because the more focused you are on service delivery as the founder, on your product, on your service, then the better your client results will be. And this is basically like a flywheel, because then you will have improved retention, you will have more referrals, and again, a better service. And the fun part is that if you actually focus on client success, you will generate more cash. So it's basically the reverse, right? The more you focus on cash, the less successful your clients will be, and the less cash you'll actually make. But the more you focus on client success, the more cash you'll actually make, which of course is important to us. All right, so the question is though, how do we make sure that they're successful? And that leads me to the fourth learning from this presentation, which is productize fast. Question is, what is productization? And productization basically means increasing the leverage in your service and leaving less things up to chance. So an example might be you move from everything to one thing and from everyone to someone. And that basically means that you can learn how to deliver one specific service on a repeat basis with high likelihood that you achieve the results that you're claiming you can achieve for a specific customer. For me, for example, that meant that I went from I do marketing services for businesses in general to I do LinkedIn ads for SaaS businesses. And paradoxically, the less customers you target, the more customers you'll actually close, because then magic happens. You're suddenly able to take learnings from one case to another and improve client results as you go, right? That's what I just mentioned. Basically, when you have a customer in a specific niche and you're offering one specific service, you'll learn on a case-by-case basis and improve the service that you have. And so every next client that you take on will actually profit from a better service that you can deliver, because you collect specific learnings from the case before. Second, you can reuse assets that you built for one case and save time by implementing it in the next. So for example, we built ad creatives for SaaS businesses. And if we learned that one specific type of ad creative worked on the first case, it's very likely that it's also going to work on the second case. Or we built funnels for SaaS businesses and also learned that this type of funnel works best. And so we just templatized that specific funnel and reused it over and over again. So the next client that joined even got a more improved version of that specific template. And the best thing is you only have to invest time once and you can sell it 1,000 times, which is the beautiful part of productization. And last but not least, you will resonate more deeply with clients as your customers all face the same problems. So example, if I'm focusing on coaching and building websites for coaching businesses, and next up there is a car dealership asking me to build a website that wins clients for them, there's a very different case here, right? So I'll have to figure out how to do it for coaching clients. I'll have to figure out how to do it for car dealerships. But especially if I have solved that specific problem a customer approaches me with before, then we can resonate with them more deeply, because we can showcase them, hey, for example, for the car dealership, we sold 1,500 cars in 3 months over at this other car dealership in your area. So that's, of course, a way better argument for closing that sale. The question remains, what service to productize? And of course, I'm a little bit biased here, but I'd say the biggest opportunity is in building lead generation funnels for one specific audience. For example, like Franz did, he built a 7-figure agency in just 4 months with that principle. Stefan did the same, grew his agency to 40K a month. Ola did the same, over 7-figure revenues a year, and creating basically the same thing. So if you're wondering how to get started with building your productized agency, then I would recommend checking out the link in bio. You can have access to the funnel month, which basically gives you a step-by-step plan of how to set up a great service, how to do lead gen with funnels for your customer. You also get an onboarding call with me. You get a weekly live training, 50+ premium features in your Perspective membership, the templates that we use to generate customers on a monthly basis. You can get access to the Growth Elite community of course, you'll have your white label CRM and exceptional support. All right, so in conclusion, old sports. So what you want to do is you want to build proof through permissionless actions by working for free. And you just want to showcase that you actually can do what you're claiming that you can do. Second, you want to learn to talk about yourself and your product so people are more inclined to spread the word about you and actually trust you more. Then third, once you have clients, their success becomes your mission, because remember that flywheel, it will basically improve all of your things within your agency. And last but not least, you want to productize your service, ideally with perspective funnels. All right, so that being said, that's everything. If there are any questions, please leave a comment down below. And other than that, I'm looking forward to see you in the next one. Cheers.